Hello and welcome to the Mum Boss Method podcast, where I've got a slightly different type of episode for you today. Sorry, I've just started recording and realised I'm really thirsty, so bear with. I wanted to talk to you about what you can expect from coaching. And if you're a current client of mine and you're listening to this, I'm sure that this will all resonate with you and you're thinking, yeah, that's exactly what I get from coaching. If you don't work with me currently, this will give you a bit of an insight into what it's like to work with me and the benefit of doing so. And this comes from the fact I've had a conversation with a new client over the course of the weekend who talked to me about how, she was so pleasantly surprised as to just how beneficial coaching has been and how she's gotten so much more from it than she expected. And I thought, this is, it's really hard, I think, to describe the coaching journey to people accurately when you've not gone through it. But I thought that I would try. I've got some bullet points that I want to, cover, but I've not gone heavily on relying on loads of notes this morning because I just wanted to talk about this in like a really natural way. So I thought I'd talk to you a bit about my journey to begin with and why I started the Mum Boss Method, because I think that's really important for you to understand so that you get the direction that I came from and you also understand where I've been in my own journey, my own health, fitness, weight loss journey. So back in 2017, I realized I was going through a really, really difficult time, and I realized that I was not putting myself first. I was a mum of one. I had a really senior corporate job, really high pressured. I travelled in Europe and across and all over the country on a very regular basis. And I thought I was doing all of the right things with nutrition and fitness. So I would go to the gym maybe 5 times a week, sometimes even six, but definitely 5 times a week. I'd go to the gym, I'd be in there at 6 a.m. I would be really focused with my nutrition Monday to Friday, really strict, took into work my own breakfast and lunches and snacks, barely ever deviated from that. I worked an absolute ton. I'd leave the office, pick up my son, and then I'd go home, sort him out, and then be back on the laptop a little bit later on. And because I went to the gym at 6 a.m. and my husband did the school runs in the morning, I was normally in the office by 8. And so I'd, be putting in loads and loads of extra time. And I became physically and mentally exhausted and drained and burnt out. And I realized that actually I wasn't truly putting myself first. So yeah, I did my gym sessions, and Monday to Thursday I'd be really good, I'm saying that in speech marks, good with my nutrition, and then it would kind of get to Friday lunchtime and I'd reward myself for being so good all week, and then I'd get to the weekend and, there'd be loads of takeaways, there'd be loads of alcohol, I wouldn't get enough sleep. And then I'd punish myself the next week by going into super restrictive mode. So I was kind of doing this typical binge, restrict, overindulge that a lot of my clients will recognize. But the other side of this, and the real reason that my business is called the Mum Boss Method, is that I really wasn't putting myself first. I would say yes to everyone else's demands and requests, and I would. And some of this I'm still guilty of now. If I hadn't cooked enough dinner, I'd take food off of my plate and give it to someone else. But that's representative of all of the things I would be giving parts of myself to everyone else and taking nothing for myself. And I really wasn't looking after myself. And if I think back to, even the type of exercise I was doing, it was never exercise that was designed to make me stronger or make me feel better. I was just going to burn calories. That's all I was trying to do, was burn calories, between 4 or 6 times a week, so that I could then just go off the rails at the weekend. And actually what I realized, and I've spoken about this before on the podcast, if you're watching me on YouTube, I'm really sorry. My chair is so uncomfortable because my cushion is falling down. Oh, had a little wiggle, sorry. I really wasn't putting myself first. I spent no time on my self-care. I was miserable. I was grumpy. My marriage was not in the best place. My mental health was in a terrible place. I was a really shouty mum. I've mentioned this before. I look back on this and it just makes me cold that sometimes when Charlie was just being a child, just being a curious child, or a child that is pushing the boundaries, I really did not respond to that very well. And, I'm embarrassed, but there were times when I absolutely just lost my shit at him and at Tom, and I just was not in a good place physically or mentally. And I decided at that time to hire a coach, a one-to-one coach, to help me. I'd never invested in my own well-being. I'd had PTs at the gym, but I'd never really invested, and I invested a lot of money. I never had invested that amount on myself before, and it was a really scary thing to do. And I'm trying to think how much it was. I think it was something like £175 a month or something, that I invested at that time. And like I said, it was really scary. And I initially hired that coach to help me, with my fitness, with my nutrition. I wanted to lose some weight, but little did I know just how life-changing it would be. I got physical results that I'd been looking for, but actually the mental side of it was huge as well, because I all of a sudden started truly looking after myself and putting time aside for myself, self-care, and prioritizing myself. And instead of that making me feel like I was being really selfish, it helped me to show up in so many different parts of my life. With my son, with my husband, I showed up differently at work, with my friendships, with my family. And it really did touch all parts of my life. It made me more confident. It helped me to be happier. And some of the key parts of that were learning to fuel myself, learning to move my body in a way that was good for my body and going to benefit my body rather than just punishing it, and really working on the mental side of things, the mental aspect of health, of fitness, of self-care, and dieting, and really being able to unpick some of the really unhelpful beliefs and behavior patterns that I had going on. And I completely transformed my life and never looked back. But the thing was, in that time, I did, kind of went downhill to come back up again, because I also got signed off from work for a couple of months because I just was completely burnt out. And I'd been working with the coach for a little while, and I decided that I just really wanted to share the power of coaching and the power of finding time for your own self-care and how transformative that can be in your life. I wanted to share that with other women, with other mums, because it made such a difference to my life. So whilst I was signed off from work, rather than just, lay in bed and have a lay-in every day for 8 weeks, I decided to do my personal training qualification. I also qualified as a nutrition coach, a level 4 nutrition coach, and used my coaching background in my business world also to add in behavior change coaching into that as well, because I really wanted to take this forward and help other women, as I've said. If you fast forward, then once I'd done those qualifications, we then came into the pandemic. And I started helping people. I started taking on clients, and then I was given the opportunity to, have more time to spend on my business. And I was then able, after starting my business about 18 months later, I was able to leave my corporate job to make the Mum Boss Method my full-time job. And that is where I am now. So, forward on 4 years, and the Mum Boss Method wasn't always called the Mum Boss Method, but we're gonna go with that. I'm not going to go through the iterations, but the Mum Boss Method is 4 years old. And I have helped hundreds of women to claim back their lives, to show up for themselves, to make time for their own self-care, to lose weight, to get fitter, to get stronger, to get healthier and happier. And I absolutely love what I do. But I thought it would be a really good idea to help you to understand exactly how I do that, because there's a lot of common misconceptions in the general population around what an online coach can do and how an online coach can help you. Sip of water, hold on. And so I really wanted to talk to you about what it is that I do, and how I help my clients and what it's like to work with me. So the main ways of working with me are either in direct one-to-one coaching, or within my last Diet Club online group coaching program. And I'll talk about the difference between those shortly. Because it doesn't matter which way you work with me, the principles of what I do and how I help you remain the same. It just depends on the type of coaching that you need and your budget as to which route you might take to work with me. So let me talk a little bit about how I structure my program, and if you were to come and work with me, what I would do to help you. So the first thing that we look at is nutrition and the principles of good nutrition, because believe me when I tell you, what you put in your body has such a huge impact on how you feel, both emotionally and physically, on how you perform. So when you are then training, when you're going to the gym, or you're doing your home workouts, the type of food that you've been putting in your body really has an impact on that. And it also has the biggest impact on your results. So whether you want to lose body fat, to build muscle, whether you just want to feel more energized, nutrition is the founding principle of that. And so with all of my clients, we talk about, and I set them nutrition targets for them to hit. Now, this can, but not always, form from a calorie target. Okay. And so for some of my clients, and if you listen to last week's podcast, you'll know that I really enjoy calorie counting myself. I encourage my clients to at least try calorie counting for, even if it's just a couple of weeks, because it gives you so much insight and education around what you're putting in your body. So all of my clients get set a calorie target. Whether or not they choose to track calories is completely up to them, because you don't have to track calories to lose body fat. People lost body fat before MyFitnessPal was invented. But a lot of people say, oh, calorie counting doesn't work for me. I can't do it. And that is because they don't know how to do it properly. They don't know how to take their calorie target and divide it up into the types of food that are going to make you feel your best, to feel satiated, to not have cravings. So along with your calorie target, I provide you with lots of information and education on how you can best build your meals. So for example, a focus on protein and how we can make sure you're eating enough protein. I will help you to see that you don't have to cut out all of your favorite things. A lot of women come to me and they're like, right, I'm giving up sugar. We don't need to give up sugar. We just need to understand how we can fit some sugar, some indulgences into our diet with balance, in moderation, whilst still hitting all of your other targets. Okay. So that is a huge piece of my coaching, is that you will not come to me and work with me and get a banned food list. I don't do that. Nothing is banned. Okay. Unless it makes you ill, you're allergic to it, it gives you tummy ache, then I don't want you to eat it. Or you don't like it, then I don't want you to eat it. But that one's questionable, because I won't accept you just saying to me, I don't like fruit and veg. I need you to eat your fruit and veg. So we need to find ways of doing that. But that's actually a great example, right? I've got a couple of clients at the moment that are really not big on fruit and veg, and they are working on ways of getting more fruit and veg into their diets. And my client Charlotte, big shout out to Charlotte, over the last couple of weeks has tried so many different fruits and vegetables that she had been avoiding. She's been trying different ways of incorporating it, different ways of preparing it and cooking it, so that she can get it into her meals. So well done, Charlotte. But that's exactly what nutrition coaching is about, is trying to help you to make the principles of nutrition fit within your lifestyle. So I'm not going to give you a meal plan and tell you you have to stick to that for 12 weeks. That's not what we do. It's about making sure you understand the basics of good nutrition and how to fit that into your diet in a way that is going to help you to achieve your goals. And your goal might be fat loss, it might be muscle gain, it might be toning, whatever your goals are, we will find a way of fitting your nutrition goals into your life. Okay. So there's really a huge amount around nutrition, around education, and supporting you with those food decisions, things like meal planning and preparing and shopping. It sounds really simple, but providing that structure to my clients to help them make sure that they are planning their meals to fit their diary and to fit the family needs, and trying to get 5 children in different places and things like this, but also giving you the education as to how you can best fuel your body to feel great and to achieve your goals. And on your check-ins, on your regular check-ins that you'll get with me, I will also go through your food, whether it's that you're tracking it on MyFitnessPal, you're just taking pictures of it or writing what you've eaten for me. I'll go through. I will always give you some suggestions on how you can optimize your eating, where you can make some changes and things like that. So that's the first part. The second part is about moving your body, okay? And I did have this bullet pointed as workouts, but I actually think I need to describe it as movement rather than just workouts, because I specialize in meeting my clients where they're at. And sometimes clients come to me and they have not done any formal exercise for years and years and years, if ever. And so it's about finding a way to work with them to get them to increase their movement and ideally get them towards regularly and consistently exercising. But we might have to start with just walking. Okay, so often the women that I work with, they don't know how to, what to do in order to work out. They don't know how to structure their training. They don't know how to fit it into their busy days, to their busy lives. And so I will help you to do that. And we work together to find the way that is best for you. So some of my clients have gym memberships. Great. I'll write them gym workouts. Some of them just like to work out from home. That's fine. They get home workouts. Some have a mixture. Great. So they get the best of both worlds. I also, for those people that find it really, really difficult to motivate themselves, and they can't necessarily get out to the gym, they can't necessarily exercise with friends, they have to exercise at home, but they find it difficult to motivate themselves. I do 2 live workouts a week, normally on a Monday and a Friday at 6:30 a.m. for 30 minutes each, and we change those days and times around depending on what's going on in life, but mainly they're Mondays and Fridays. And lots of my clients join me either live for those workouts, or they watch them on replay and they do them on replay, which is amazing. So that option is also there for those of you that find it really difficult to know where to start with exercising, or to motivate yourself to do it on your own. So I will meet you where you are at. Okay. And then, like I say, so we've got nutrition, we've got movement. It's not just about getting workouts in, it's about, steps and how you can just generally be more active. And then the third kind of pillar of what I do is all around your mindset. Okay. 99% of the women that come and work with me have developed, really unhelpful, limiting beliefs around diet, around exercise, around their body image, around their confidence. And that mindset is what holds them back and what prevents them from making change long term. And so we work on unpicking these unhelpful beliefs and behaviors and patterns that you have created in your life, and rewiring all of those things together to help you to make sustainable changes, realistic changes, lifestyle changes that will last you for the rest of your life. And the way that we do that is through so you get check-ins with me, personalized check-ins with me, and depending on which package you join me on, if you are a one-to-one VIP, you will get a weekly check-in. If you join me in the Last Diet Club group, you will get bi-weekly check-ins. And those check-ins not only provide you with vital accountability, which is what many people need to get started, is that accountability of, I've said I'm going to do this week, and this is what I've done, and I'm people stay accountable, my clients stay accountable to me. But also those check-ins are a valuable and vital part of you unpicking some of those unhelpful beliefs and behavior patterns, because check-ins force you to reflect on what's been going on for you in the last week or so. Ask you to call yourself out on your excuses, ask you to really think about what's challenged you, what's got in your way, what are causing barriers. And I will then help you to unpick all of those things that are standing in your way of your progress. So those check-ins are vital and probably the most valuable part of coaching. And then also what we have is our weekly calls. So every Wednesday evening, we have a group Zoom. We go through any challenges. Sometimes if, something's come up for a lot of the ladies in the group, I will cover that off in those Q&A sessions. We'll really get to unpick them. We'll do a little bit of work on them. It helps people to be accountable, not just to me, but to each other and to themselves. It also, community is a huge part of what I do, and supporting each other within the group. So it doesn't matter whether you're a one-to-one client or you're part of the group coaching program, you have access to those calls, you have access to each other and to support each other. And that community is probably the thing I'm most proud about when it comes to the Mum Boss method, how all of my clients will chip in, muck in, and support each other. And so what we're really looking to do through these 3 pillars, through giving you that accountability, through giving you that structure, that education and tools to help you, is to create this balance in your life where you can achieve your goals without removing all of the things that you love from your life. So maybe that's a glass of wine, maybe it's some chocolate, maybe it's a couple of bags of crisps, whatever it is, without removing your social life, without removing all the fun from life. So we're creating that balance and that consistency through those principles, so that your diet fits into your life while still helping you to achieve your goals. Okay. I also, because of the types of clients that come and work with me, I help my clients with their relationship with food. I help them with their relationship with their body. I help them with their relationship with exercise. I'm not saying that everyone's going to work with me for 6 months and then be an absolute exercise lover. It's not realistic. I am not silly. I know that some of my clients exercise because they know they have to, and they don't necessarily end up loving it ever, but they feel the benefit. And I really help with that, with emotional eating, with that binge restrict roller coaster that so many women go through, helping you as well to find time for you in your diary, all with the aim of helping you to show up for you so that you can show up in the parts of your life where other people need you. Because we all want to be the best mum, be the best daughter, be the best partner, be the best sister, be the best friend that we possibly can be. But we cannot do that if we are not showing up for ourselves. And that is vital. And that is exactly what I'm teaching you to do. Now, as I said, I need a sip. There are 2 main ways of working with me. Unless you're listening from my local area, so I live in a little village in Hertfordshire called Markyate. I do some local things in the village as well. But the 2 main ways of working with me are online one-to-one coaching and the Last Diet Club group. Okay, so which option you pick will depend very much on your starting point and your budget. And I'll be honest, when people say to me, I don't know where to start, I don't know whether to go one-to-one or group, my suggestion will more often than not be one-to-one, but not always. Some clients come to me, and after that first conversation with them, I can tell that actually they don't need the intensity of one-to-one, and they'll be absolutely fine in the group. But here's why I recommend a period of one-to-one initially for everyone. With the one-to-one coaching, we are going to completely undo the bag and just make sure that we are looking at all of the pieces of your life that need to fit together, and we're going to strip that down and rebuild it. And by that, I don't mean I'm taking your life apart and I'm taking things away from your life that you enjoy. No, we're just making sure that we've got structure, that you're focusing on the things that are going to make the biggest impact in your life. So one-to-one coaching is very highly supportive. With one-to-one coaching, you will get 2 calls with me per month where we can really deep dive into what's going on, as well as your weekly check-ins where you will get completely personalized feedback from me. You get access to, be able to message me at any time that you want to. And you also get access to the rest of the community of my one-to-one or group coaching clients. So most people would benefit from a period of one-to-one coaching to begin with, whereby we are really focusing on some quick wins for you. We're focusing on the very, very specific things about your life that need to change in order for you to get the results that you want. Within the Last Diet Club group program, you still get the individualized plan and targets, the most appropriate workout plan that is going to fit in your life. You're going to get personalized nutrition targets that are relevant to your goals and your starting point. But you will get those check-ins every other week. What we don't get in the Last Diet Club is that individual, 2 calls a month situation, because you utilize that group and that community as your support. So we're not going quite as in depth, and this is more appropriate for the women who don't need quite as high touch support, that can, that are going to be able to motivate themselves, that are going to take the actions that I give them in their check-ins and run with them and lean on the rest of the group and me. I'm still there as well for the support. So there is a step down in that intensity. Both of these routes will get you results if you put the work in, but it really depends on where you're starting from and how much support that you need. Okay. And obviously, there is a cost, there is an investment attached to both of those. And you can find all of the details of the costs on the links that I've put in the podcast show notes. And what I would say is, coaching is an investment. And I'm by no means the most expensive coach out there, but I'm also by no means the cheapest coach out there. You are not going to be able to work with me at this level in this much depth and get the results if you're paying me £20 a month, because for that, I can't get as close to you, I can't be as much support to you, and that's just like a throwaway gym membership to you. You could be paying that and not utilizing the support. So yes, coaching is an investment. You're paying for the expertise, for the support, for the accountability, for the guidance of someone who is professionally qualified and educated to help you in this. And like I say, I'm not the cheapest coach out there. I'm also not the most expensive. But you can see all of my prices on my website. It would depend on which route you want to take. Now that I've described what coaching is and what you're going to get, I want to tell you a little bit about who my coaching is not for. So if you've got this far and then you're listening to this and you think, oh, actually, that sounds like me, then I am probably not the coach for you. Okay. So this coaching is not for someone who wants quick fixes. I very, very rarely, I need a sip, take on clients who are looking to lose a certain amount of weight by a certain amount of time for a certain a certain occasion or event. And most of my clients stay with me for at least a year to 18 months, if not longer. I've got clients that have been with me for 2.5 years. So my clients aren't coming to me looking for quick fixes. I will not, I could take you on for 6 weeks and I could get you amazing results in those 6 weeks, but those results would mean we would have to be quite restrictive. We would have to be really strict, and we're not likely to be unpicking a lot of your unhelpful beliefs and behaviors in that time. So if you're looking for a quick fix, if you want to just come and work with me for 6 weeks to get you ready for a holiday, I'm probably not the right person for you. In fact, one of my clients, Louise, when she came to work with me, she wanted to work with me to get herself in great shape for a really big family holiday, like a once in a lifetime holiday that they were going on. And I said to her that I would work with her to help her feel amazing for her holiday only on the understanding that when she got back from her holiday, she came and continued her work with me, because I could see from speaking to her how much needed unpicking, and I knew I would be doing her a disservice to just work with her for 4 weeks to get her ready to go on holiday, and that actually she would then just return to really unhelpful food and exercise behaviors and thought patterns. So if you're looking for a quick fix, I am not the coach for you. If you are looking to try and get results by just doing the same old thing, I'm not the coach for you. What do I mean by that? I mean that if you've done, Weight Watchers in the past, or you've dabbled with fasting, or you've done super restrictive, loads and loads of exercise before, and you are thinking that actually you just want to repeat those patterns, and you're just hoping that someone else is going to make them work, then I'm not the coach for you. Okay, we need to work on finding a way that works within your lifestyle so that you can keep it sustainable for a long time to get you the results. I've already said I don't do quick fixes, and I'll be honest with you when you start working with me as to how long I think you need to give that work. I don't tie anyone into contracts, but I do recommend that you at least mentally give working with me 3 months, because you need that time to embed the habits and the behaviors. So if you're just hoping for, some kind of cheat code, you're hoping that you just want to repeat all of the things that you've done before to try and get the results that you want, but you're hoping that someone else will make them stick. No, I'm going to find the ways that help you to get the results, and that most often means you need to change something. If nothing changes, nothing changes. If you're not willing to take on the advice and the guidance that I'm going to offer you and at least try those things, then this isn't going to work, and then you'll get frustrated because you won't be seeing results. Okay, so I need you to be willing to put the effort in. It's going to be uncomfortable. Sometimes you're going to have to do things you don't want to do. Sometimes you're going to have to hear from me things you don't particularly want to hear, but that is what will get you the results. Okay, I'm also not the right coach if you are going to make excuses. If there are always going to be excuses as to why you haven't done what you said you would do, why you haven't achieve the things you set out to, the things that you promised yourself and me that you were going to do at the beginning of the week, and you've got a whole list of excuses every week, I'm not the coach for you. Okay, because I will challenge you on those excuses, and if you are making them time after time after time again, you won't enjoy being challenged on them, and you probably won't be ready to stop the excuses. So who is my coaching for then? My coaching is for mums. I do mainly work with mums, but not always. So if the rest of this sounds like you and you're listening to me and you're thinking, Chrissy, I want to work with you, if you're not a mum, then that's okay as well. So I do have some clients who are, fur mums, not mums at all, and that's absolutely fine. But mainly I work with mums who are late 30s and onwards, and who are really struggling to find time to prioritize themselves, but they can see and they're willing to see how prioritizing themselves a bit more will help them to show up and be better in all of the other parts of their lives. I'm the right person for someone who is willing to work over time for results. Like I said before, I don't do quick fixes. So if you join the Last Diet Club group coaching program, you first sign up for 6 weeks. And at the end of those 6 weeks, you'll be invited to continue on with me. And if you're just joining me for a 6-week quick fix, then you won't you'll be disappointed at the end of those 6 weeks, because we're just scratching the surface. So I'm looking for women who are willing to do the work, chip away at it, and make that commitment to themselves. But not just the work as in getting the steps, the workouts, the, making the balanced meal choices, but also do the mental work. So I always say that 80% of my job is about helping you to change your mindset. And I know that that is often a really big shock for people, is just how many times I'll say to a client, right, I want you to go and reflect on this. These are some questions I want you to think about, and come and answer them back. And they're so shocked. They're so shocked that I've not, sent them away and said, oh, go and eat some more chicken. They're often really shocked about all that mental work that they need to do, and it is sometimes uncomfortable, but it is what gets you the results. So they're the people that I work for. They're the people that are right for this coaching program. And what you should understand is that I don't work with everyone that applies to work with me. So on my website, you can fill in an application form. I'm not going to do some pushy sales call. We will jump on the phone for 10-15 minutes. I might ask you a few questions. You can ask me some questions. If I don't think I'm the right person for you, I will turn you away. I will say, I don't think I'm the right coach for you. Here's a couple of my colleagues who might be able to help you, because I am not the right coach for everyone. And also, you need to be a right fit for the community that I've created and the style of coaching that I do. I won't enjoy coaching you if you're not right. You won't get anything out of it. And I'm not here for that. I'm here to help you to get results, and I need to be the right coach for you. So let's say this has really piqued your interest and you think, oh, I'd quite like to find out if I can do some coaching with Chrissy. I want to give you a little bit of advice on how you can get the most from coaching with me. Okay. First thing is ask questions. There are no silly questions. But in order to ask questions, you have to communicate with me. So if, my clients know if they go quiet for a couple of days, they will get messages from me. I'm not going to mither them, but they will get messages from me asking them what's going on. So we need to communicate. If you want support, you need to ask for it. You need to ask questions. If you don't understand something I've said, ask me a question. Use all of the resources available to you, and that's not just me, that's the rest of the community. So put in, if you heard my stomach rumbling then, I'm really sorry. The more you put in, the more you get out. Support each other. Use all of the resources that I've created for you. There are videos, there are guides, there are podcasts, the live workouts. Use those resources. Make sure that you check in. Check-ins are so valuable. And even on the weeks where you really don't want to check in because you feel like you've had a really bad week, they are the weeks you need to check in. And also take advantage of the Wednesday evening group calls. The women that get the best results from me are the women who, whether they are part of the group coaching or the one-to-one coaching, they utilize that community. And it is a really, really special community. It is such a valuable piece of the work that I do. But in order to get the most from that community, you have to be willing to put in as much as you get out. And by that, I mean supporting each other. You are going to come to those calls, and for an hour, you might have to listen to other people's challenges. Well, you'll have to listen to other people's challenges, but you are so powerful in that moment because you can support other people, and my ladies learn so much from each other. So come to those group calls, come to your one-to-ones if you decide to work with me one-to-one, so that I can support you. Now, there's a few things that I won't do for you as your coach. The first one is spoon feed you. So I won't create you a 12-week meal plan. That's not going to work long term for us. Yes, there are examples that I can give you to help you, but it's not going to work. So I won't do everything for you. For example, I won't send you a message every day to keep you accountable for the rest of that day. If you want daily accountability, you message me and I will support you and motivate you to take that action on that day, or use the rest of the group. But I won't sit and send each of my clients a message first thing in the morning to check they're okay, because they don't need that. They need to take the action themselves. So I won't spoon feed you. I won't support your excuses. If I hear the same excuses coming up time and time again, or the same things are being excused, or there's a pattern, I will challenge you on those excuses. Okay, you won't get better, you won't improve if you aren't challenged. But I also won't bully you. So I can be a bit fierce, but I am not horrible. I am supportive, I'm empathetic. So I won't support your excuses. I will challenge them, but I also won't bully you. And then I won't lie to you ever. You won't hear me lying to you. I'm not about to spout a load of rubbish in your ear about nutrition that isn't factual and science-based. I will be honest with you, and I always expect honesty back. So that actually, I really enjoyed talking about that. I loved that. And I can't believe this is over 45 minutes long. So if you would like to join the Mum Boss community, if you'd like to know more about how I can help you, you can check the links in the show notes or come and find me online. It's www.themumbossmethod.com. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook. And if you are not sure as to whether or not I'm the right coach for you, but you think you'd like to explore that, you can fill in an application form on my website or send me a message and we can have a chat. No pressure. Like I said, I need to make sure that you're a right fit for my community, as well as you needing to make sure that I'm the right coach for you. So there's never any sales pressure from me. That's not what I do around here. But I hope you enjoyed this. I am taking applications to work with me in the new year. I start back with all of my programs on Monday, the 6th of January. So if you would like to know more about how you can join and get my support, like I said, come find me on social media or go to my Instagram or go to my website, fill in an application form, send me a message and we can have a chat. Have an awesome week, everyone. I have really enjoyed this and I'm going to go and make myself a cup of coffee. Have a good one. Bye.